Good morning, welcome, what's up, nerds? It is I, the OG GM, coming to you from here, my house. Got a new poster behind me, not that you care. It's, I don't know what day it is, Monday morning. It is the 3rd day of July, 2023, in the year of our Lord Mackie Ito. And it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game news, freebies, sales, charity thingies, and of course, bundles. Why do I do this? I don't know why I started this, but now I can't stop it. It's like my thing. Yes, there are probably plenty of people who do YouTubing better than I do, but how many tabletop role-playing game YouTubers sing to you besides me and Ginny D? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's take a look at this week's bundles. A lot of maps, a lot of maps this week. I'm not sure why. No rhyme or reason. Just, I mean, sort of how the random collective unconsciousness of the industry works is sometimes you have unintentional themes. I don't think it's like official fantasy map weekend or something. The only thing going on in the world is 4th of July for us Americans tomorrow. Other than that, don't know. Just sort of happened that there's a lot of map-related things this week. Weird. Let's take a look at what else is coming on. But of course, before we dive in, I do have to remind you, one. These are PDFs, unless I specifically say otherwise. These are not physical product. You will not be getting dice or figures or a sandwich or a t-shirt or anything. You're just going to get a PDF. So do not send me an email or an angry text saying, I didn't get the dice. And that would be because it's a PDF, dude. You can't get the dice. Number 2, because these are PDFs and digital files and virtual tabletop files and things like that. Before you install or open anything, maybe take an extra second to check them with your favorite virus checker, malware checker, magic detector of choice, because sometimes these things contain a few surprises. It happened to me twice, and I'm not the only person I know of it happened to. So yeah, this is not just me spouting off for the sake of hearing my own voice. And finally, 3rd, still surprised this hasn't gotten me in trouble, in regards to the charity bundles, if there's a charity you want to donate money to, maybe just give the money directly to the charity. I mean, if the bundle I think is really, really worth it, I will point it out. But generally, 90% of the times, I'm just like, I don't know, just give the money directly to the charity. Probably a better chance of being sure they actually receive the money on time. Okay, that said, let's take a look at this week's freebies. And right up here, number 1, there's a free PDF available of the 4th edition of Basic Fantasy Role-Playing Games. But really, dude, it's like $5 to get a copy of this game plus shipping. There's really no reason why you shouldn't have it in your collection. I have it in mine. The basic game, hard, printed, is $5. It's got hundreds of free stuff for it. Really highly recommend this one. This is just one of those ones that everybody should have in their collection just because. It's cheap. It supports the guy. It's a great, reminder of the early days of the role-playing game hobby, especially if you can't get your hands on older copies of the product from that time period. And a lot of the other retro clones are really expensive. So this is probably the best bang for your buck when it comes to retro clones. Okay. A company called Zcoin has released a Wild West supplement for 5e. Not Weird West, Wild West. So taking, I guess, all the magic out of it and just making it cowboys and settlers and sheep. It includes weapons from different eras like black powder, paper cartridges, and modern armor ammo types. This reads like it's a weapon supplement that just happens to have a section on the Wild West in it, not a Wild West game using 5e. Let's take a look, shall we? The picture doesn't tell us anything. It's just a picture of 2 bottles of alcohol. And all it says is it's got a section on ammunition. Black powder, paper cartridges, precision cap cartridges, just a streamlined approach to the, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of weird things people put in guns during the quote unquote Wild West period. But okay, so now, according to this just reads like it's a weapon guide for all the various weapons that were available during the whatever you would define as the Wild West period here in the US. You just tells me very little about your product, sir. I don't know. I mean, it just feels like right now, by what I'm reading, it's a 5e conversion for various weapon types, which is fine. I mean, you know, there are a couple 5e modern rule sets out there, so it's fine that somebody has done a 5e. Here's a look at all the variety of stuff that was available, and I've converted it to 5e rules because, let's face it, there was a lot of weird stuff that people were putting in guns during the Wild West. Moving on, we've got some new stuff from Cyborg. We've got the pugilist-themed class for Cyborg from Wilson Games over at Drive-Thru. We've got another edition from the old school role-playing folks for the Zephyrus version of Traveler. This is called A Tale of Two Planets, and it deals with a pair of star-crossed lovers. When I was running my space pirate campaign, did Romeo and Juliet. It was very interesting. They ended up blowing up the planet. So, yeah. Then we've got another science fiction game called Speed of Light. This comes to us from Sharp Wit Games. Speed of Light. It's about racing on space planets, and it's on Drive-Thru for free. Galactic Funk brings us Training in the Borgs, a character progression rule system for Pirate Borg. Pirate Borg getting a lot of love right now. Still, they claim, Free League claims they're going to have Pirate Borg official hardback available on Talk Like a Pirate Day, September 15th. And we've got another one for Pirate Borg. This one's called Death in the Borgs. It's an optional death system for Pirate Borg, Mork Borg, Cyborg, because apparently this person felt that Mork Borg wasn't deadly enough and decided to add more. What new fun ways to die in Mork Borg? We've got some of the entries from Pocket Quest 2023. So Pocket Quest 2023 is a thing that, you know, they do small zine type role-playing game projects over like a 24-hour period. We've got one called God in the Corpse from TGS Games. It's a science fiction game where players play AIs stuck in a suit of some kind and try to deal with the complications of the real world while being an artificial intelligence. We've got another one from Pocket Quest. This comes to us from Alex M. It's called Beyond the Stars. It's a rules-light science fiction exploration game. Go out and colonize planets, space word ho kind of thing. And we've got a space western from Pocket Quest. This one comes to us from Australia's Reach. It's called Rogue Signal. It's about a ragtag group of space adventurers running across space type stuff and then having to investigate a signal. Ooh. From Metal Ostrich Game, we have a Pocket Quest called The Moon is Haunted. It is an OSR-inspired classless RPGs for rules for low gravity and playing around on the moon and then discovering, oh no, we're not alone on the moon. Didn't they just find something on the moon that looked like a structure? They're probably going to say, oh no, it was just, you know, ice and it formed and it kind of looks like a structure. Moving on to the DM's Guild, this week's collection of maps and stuff like that. We've got a new thing for Spelljammer called the Dreadnought. Another new thing for Spelljammers called the Chronicles of the Lost Times. Those are both by, doesn't say, but apparently it is a Oh, no, I'm sorry. Chronicles for the Lost Times is the name of the company, and they have brought us the Dreadnought Fighter subclass for Spelljammer. If you're looking for a more realistic take on D&D, we've got Primal Beach, featuring stats for dinosaurs and Ice Age megafauna. If you want to do a, spear and mammoth style D&D game. We've got another one for Spelljammer. This one comes to us from Peter Lee and David S. Spell. This is called the Astral Menagerie. It is a 10-ship companion for Spelljammer. What happened there? Oh, that's what I meant to do. Sorry. Technological limitations. From the same two individuals, Peter Lead and David Aspel. Again, for Spelljammer, we have crafting signature magical weapons brands. It's a system of brands that can be mixed and matched for a total of 80,000 unique combinations to add new abilities to weapons, starting from first level and going all the way up to legendary 20th level weapons. I don't know what that is. Is there something called brand system crafting in Spelljammer? I was under the impression there was no combat rules in Spelljammer, but maybe I'm wrong. If anybody knows what weapon brands is, please let me know. Obviously, this is on DM's Guild, so it is technically official, which means if you are in a Spelljammer game now, you could possibly use these rules to make your weapons even more ridiculous, if that's something you want to know. Now, and let's see, Scott Bean has released Honknado, which is a sequel to Last Week's Hawkland. This one is sort of a parody of the already ridiculous Sharknado series, but instead of sharks, what if it was geese? So imagine downtown Los Angeles. Suddenly a tornado warning in Los Angeles. It could happen. It happened once before. But that tornado has combined with a flock of geese to create a Honknado. Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. And we've got Laser Sharks as another sequel to Honknado. This comes to us from Gabriel Grow, and this gentleman has created Laser Sharks for D&D, and it's available on the DM's Guild. And since it's on DM's Guild, technically it's official as far as Wizards of the Coast is concerned, at least until the end of the year, which means if you can find a group with a ridiculous enough level of player investment that the idea of playing a Honknado campaign with Laser Sharks sounds fun, then God love you if you can, man. That'd be an awesome group to play with. But D&D is supposed to be serious. No, it's not. All right, moving on to the sales. We have another charity queer bundle from Itch.io. You remember Itch.io, the group that called me a Nazi. We love those guys, yeah. And when I purchased one of their bundles, it was filled with viruses and malware. Twice. Anyways, they're doing another LGBTQT creator bundle, even though Pride Month is over. Well, I guess, you know what? Tip of the hat that they are continuing to support Pride going into July. Or maybe they just have so many left they're trying to get rid of them. I don't know. They claim that there are 450 games in this latest bundle with 300 different creators. And it is $60. The sale ends on the 7th. So if you're looking for a bunch of PDF bundle games that are written by queer LGBTQT type creators from a company that has a reputation of insulting other creators and sending out product that is filled with viruses, here you go. Moving on to a company I actually appreciate. Free League is continuing their summer sale. 50% off most titles, link down below. The sale ends July 5th. Of course, the sale is all listed in prices from that part of the world, so I have no idea. Remember, we tried to figure it out, and we couldn't because we're dumb. But hey, if you want to pick up some Free League stuff, this is probably the best time to do it. Fantasy Grounds is having a huge sale for Pathfinder type, Starfinder, so a whole bunch of different VTT stuff for Fantasy Grounds. Traveler, Vampire the Masquerade, Star Trek, Dungeon Crawl Classics, DCC, my favorite 5 retro clone, Vossen. It's just sort of a hodgepodge smorgasbord buffet of VTT files for Fantasy Grounds. 50% off is for the standard license, 30% off for the ultimate license. Sale ends July 13th. So yeah, if you're running Fantasy Grounds and you're just like, wow, I need extra stuff because I want to run I don't know, Cyberpunk Red game using Fantasy Ground, here's a chance. And if you're not using Fantasy Ground and you've been thinking about, well, I kind of maybe want to try this VTT thing out now, here's a great place to start because, wow, look at all this crap you're going to get for 30% off. That said, this is a huge bunch of computer stuff and programs and files. So before you download and install any of these, check it with the malware virus type thingy. And as I said, it's a map season. So we've got a map bundle from Drive-Thru this week. It's called Danger Vault's Strange New Worlds Planetary Map Collection Volume 1. It's a bunch of fantasy-themed maps with a sci-fi theme name. Sure, why not? I mean, new fantasy worlds are still strange new worlds. I don't know. Can you use strange? Yeah, you probably can. I'm sure Paramount can't copyright Strange New Worlds. And this is $4.99. Then we've got a whole bunch of post-apocalyptic maps from Map Alchemist. That's M-A-P, not M-A-D. And this is $40. $40 for a huge selection of maps of just ruined buildings, which, I could technically find for free online. I don't know. That seems a little pricey, dude. They must be amazing maps. And if you want more post-apocalypse type maps, we've got another one. This one is called Abandoned Animated Dungeon Maps of Animated Battle Maps in 1080p resolution. Abandoned Animated Dungeon Maps collection of animated battle maps in 1080p resolution. That is a ridiculously long title for something. Okay, so these are maps. There's animations in them, and they're battle maps. I don't know what an animated battle map on VTT is different than a normal map on VTT. So far, I have yet to be really, wowed by a VTT map. But I suppose there's people out there who invest a lot of time and energy in making the maps truly interactive. And it's not my thing, but sure, if you're talented enough and have a group with the attention span enough that it's actually worth it to create the whole VTT environment and have the animations, dude, and your computer can run it, more power to you. Nothing but respect. I have trouble with, drawing a square in Paint. So, and again, because this is a computer thingy, before you download and install any of these, check it for viruses, please. This is $71. Moving on to charity bundles. We've got a bundle for Owen Casey Steffens, who is still fighting cancer and still dealing with the ridiculous healthcare prices in the USS to be a cancer patient. So we've got Samurai Sheepdog has got a book called Like a Boss, a book of boss encounters, which is a book that includes legendary foes for all sorts of tabletop role-playing games, bad guys, and all sorts of different tabletop role-playing game stat blocks. So he's presented them in Pathfinder, D&D, Starfinder, Cypher System, and a whole bunch of others. For $15, you get a huge book filled with monsters, ideas about boss encounters, and all these things have been written up with various different systems, all to support the medical bills for our friend Owens K.C. Steffens, all our, support and prayers for a speedy recovery, sir. And then we've got a separate one also for Owens Steffens. This one contains stuff for other games. So he's got stuff in this one for Pathfinder, again, Starfinder, D&D. So this is just another collection of like adventures, articles, 24 different titles for $25. And again, this all goes to cover the medical expenses for our friend Owen K.C. Steffens. Over at Bundle of Holding, we have a bundle for the obscure but highly regarded role-playing game Warlock. This comes to us from Fire Ruby Designs, and this is everything from the old Warlock and Warp Star tabletop role-playing game. For $13, you get the Warlock Treasures Edition and all the companions for Warlock. And then if you want to upgrade, you can also get the Warp Star collection, which includes Warp Star and every supplement that weighs for Warp Star. Warlock and Warp Star are OSR, old school tabletop role-playing games from the other side of the pond over there in Games Workshop land and British land. So, and it is an incredibly highly recommended, highly reviewed, highly respected system that most people have never heard of. But yes, $13 will get you all this huge collection, and it is direct relief, which means you 10% goes to a charity of your choice. And Ulysses Spile is continuing their run of the mega bundle for the award-winning German fantasy RPG, The Dark Eye. $25 gets you everything that has ever been written for the Dark Eye award-winning tabletop role-playing game from Germany. This is direct relief, which means 10% goes to a charity of your choice. Steamforge is still running their Epic Bundles one. This is an entire collection of the Epic Bundles run for $8. It's all the maps and encounters and PDFs. It is not the figures or any of the physical things that came in the Epic Bundles. The figures are separate. It will include a coupon if you wish to purchase the figures, or if you wish to purchase the box version of these that have all the actual physical components. But no, you will not be getting the figures. I'm not sure how you think you could print them out unless you had a 3D printer. But yeah, there's things. Maps, basically just maps. And then we still have another week has been extended to the whole collection of useful references and background books. The Ultimate RPG Guide, still going on. $18 gets you a whole bunch of books on world building and world design and philosophy, and what does the inside of a castle look like? What do people eat? How do the Vikings travel? That just, I mean, it's just history, it's lore, it's archaeology, it's anthropology, it's how to make up a language. I mean, just the educational alone value is pretty awesome. And it goes to support literacy charities around the world, and it's $18. So that's not bad for 22 books of history and romance and world building and all that other big word stuff. Black Library is back with the Chronicles from the World of Warhammer 2023 bundle. This book bundle features tons of books from Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, 27 books in all set around the various worlds of Games Workshop's product. Whole sorts of fiction set in like the Age of Sigmar, 40K, everything else. It's $18. It goes to support literacy charities around the world. And yes, so, but these will be PDFs, which means, you know, you're gonna have to read them on a tablet or something. So, and then before you open them, check them for viruses. And finally, we have a 3D miniature bundle. This comes with a collection of miniatures for buildings, animals, decorations, chairs, statues, all sorts of stuff. $25. It goes to support Make-A-Wish. And it's a whole bunch of files for 3D printers. It's available on Humble Bumble. It is from it's got a catapult. That's kind of cool. Not a working one, though. It's got corn. I mean, if you ever wanted 3D printed corn for your corn maze sets, it comes to us from Doesn't say. So I guess it's just Humble Bumble made their own? Or maybe the name of the company is 3D Fantasy Miniatures. I don't know. Sometimes these sources are less than forthcoming with information. And, I will try to get to the bottom of these stories when I can and when I feel like I have the energy about it. So, yes, when the ones are confusing, I will definitely look into them for you guys. Maybe I should probably invest more energy in that, but I'm old and tired and lazy, but still, yeah. Again, normally I would say just donate the money directly to Owen's GoFundMe or his webpage instead of going through the charity bundles, unless you really want these collections. The Warlock one, $13. I mean, it's an obscure game, but it's apparently a very well-regarded obscure game. The Fantasy Grounds one, the Dark Eye one, I've heard good things about it. A lot of map bundles, nothing really stands out. Getting the free PDF of the basic fantasy rules, that's cool. I would definitely recommend that one, or just spend the $5 and get the physical copy. And the Free League one, it's like, yeah, I want you guys to get Free League stuff if you don't already have it, but I still don't understand the math, even when trying to use the machine to tell us what the translation meant from 428 kgs to American money. America money! That's it for all the tabletop role-playing game bundles for today. If any of those sound like something you want to pick up, let me know what you thought of it when you picked it up. And if you got anything from any of those sales that you want to talk about, I'm always here to talk to you guys. But remember, again, when downloading those PDFs, please check them for viruses and stuff like that. And remember, these are PDFs. There's no physical product involved in these, so don't get upset at me when you download it and you didn't get the free sandwich. Till next time, I'm the OG GM. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, buy me a coffee. I'll talk to you later. See ya!